over the weekend. What did we learn about the Lakers? Do you think they are legit Western Conference title contenders here?
I think we didn't give this trade enough time to bake. That's what we do. We want to react immediately. But Luka feels like he has a chip on his shoulder. You know, he's arguing with the refs again. He feels like he's finding himself. He's popping off a little bit, as you mentioned. And when you have somebody like Luka, who took the Mavs to the NBA Finals last year, and of course you have LeBron James, even if it takes some time for them to find that cohesion, I always was going to give those two guys the benefit of the doubt, that they're going to be able to figure it out, and that the Lakers are a team that you should keep an eye on. And over the weekend, I think we figured it out that, yeah, the Western Conference should be looking over their shoulder a little bit. They should be paying attention to the Lakers, and that we don't want to doubt these two guys. CC,
we doubted them after that 197 loss to Charlotte coming out of the All-Star break. Your team, the Lakers, where are you now with them? What's the temperature on the Lakers for you right now?
Yeah, I mean, the reason why I doubted them is because I didn't think they would be good defensively. I didn't think there would be any issues on the offensive end. They'll figure it out with Luka and LeBron. The question is, how good could they be defensively? And they answered that on Saturday in a big way. J.J. Redick outcoached Michael Malone. To Coach Malone's own admission, the fact that the Lakers were able to generate 22 turnovers, which created 39 points for them. I was fascinated by the fact that they were able to frustrate Jokic in the way that they did. How many games did Nikola Jokic play 35-plus minutes and only had 7 shots in the entire game? It was absolutely a masterclass in terms of how to defend him. They threw a lot of things at him. They played zone, they played man, they double team, they triple team, they cross match. Like just guys coming from everywhere, and then the hustle that they showed to be able to close out on the shooters. Yeah, the Lakers, what surprised me on Saturday was not what Luka was able to do, but how well they played defensively. If they can keep that going, and the bigs that they do have on the roster, if they're able to stay healthy, this Lakers team can make a run to the conference finals.
J.J. Redick has done a great job. I mean, people could say otherwise, but, I mean, let's be honest. He has done a great job in year one as a coach. Not even year one with the Lakers. Year one as a coach, unless you include, like, 3rd or 4th grade basketball in Brooklyn, which relative to the NBA, I'm going to say is not comparable. Just a gut feeling on this. All of these storylines, big. Warriors had a big win yesterday. They're playing really well. Steph was unbelievable. But none of them may be bigger than an MVP that arguably should not play another game this season. We'll get into that coming up next. But first, as I walked down my stairs this morning back in New York, and I looked outside and I saw the snow still on my...
They're not there yet, and that was the reality of this weekend, especially that Cavs game. That was just an embarrassing performance.
But they say Nuno...
Worst loss in the Tibbs era of Knicks basketball, right?
Yeah.
Were you there for that, Small?
I was not.
Okay.
No, you can't blame me for that one. You can't blame me for that one. But Nuno, they said that they're a work in progress until the playoffs. So do you think that they'll be able to find that gear when they need to?
Well, we'll see, right? Because on the pregame show, Shams had reported that Mitchell Robinson is planning on coming back this week, hopefully. So that's a different body, right? Some actually defense because they don't play that. So we'll see where they're at. But at this point in time, like, as the kids say, there's levels to this, and they're not on that level. The Celtics, the 3 games they've played, have gone in there with a purpose to embarrass the Knicks, and that's exactly what they've done these 3 games.
Yeah.
Go, New York, go, New York, go! Oh, my God.
Javonte, that was not necessary.
Oh, that's very necessary. Very necessary. So the other part of it is that the Celtics kicked the Knicks' butt yesterday. The Celtics can kick everyone's butt, basically, whenever they want to. And our ESPN NBA analyst, Kendrick Perkins, had this to say about his former team in Boston.
And your 2025 NBA champions are the Boston Celtics.
You're calling it now.
Okay.
All right, well, let's just go home.
February 23rd.
OKC is not beating them. The Nuggets are not beating them. The Cavs are not beating them. The Knicks damn sure are not beating them. And the Milwaukee Bucks are not beating the Boston Celtics. What they displayed today is that it's really levels to this all across the board. The best starting 5 in basketball. When they want to turn it up another level defensively, it's no team, not the Knicks and nobody else around the league, that's going to challenge them.
CC, when you hear that from Kendrick Perkins, are you in agreement with him that, okay, all of a sudden the Celtics are so good, we're going to ignore the Cavs, who I believe are 47-10. We're going to ignore the Thunder, who are 46-10. We're going to ignore your Lakers, who all of a sudden are popping off a little bit here, especially on the defensive side. We're going to ignore Denver, and we know how good Jokic could be. Milwaukee obviously is still in the mix. Are we ready to call it?
I'm not. Now, certainly the Celtics are the standard. They're the champs until somebody beats them. But I do think the Cleveland Cavaliers have more than a puncher's chance. And we got to remember how this upstart Cavs group ended last season. It was a gentleman's sweep against the Boston Celtics. And best believe that there will be some retribution. Now, on the season series, the Cavs are 1-2 against the C's, but all of those games came down to clutch time, last 5 minutes within 5. And so you got to think that with a little more seasoning and as they gear up for the second half, this Cavs team can hit another gear. The thing that I look at with the Cavs in terms of the dominant traits is their ability to be able to dominate inside with Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. Those two guys on both ends of the courts create a lot of problems for a lot of teams, and they can do the same for the Boston Celtics. So that's the part that I'm interested to see how that particular matchup inside will be able to set the tone or dictate the complexion of a 7-game series if and when those two teams meet in the Eastern Conference Finals. But I am looking forward to Friday's matchup at TD Garden. We got Cavs on the road in Boston. I think that could be a prelude to what we should expect once we get to the playoffs and get to the championship rounds.
So the other thing, when you talk Celtics, equal time, you must talk Lakers, right? LeBron and Luka Smalls, they have a win against Denver.
Các bạn vừa xem xong video phân tích của chúng tôi. Sau đây sẽ là video hướng dẫn cách làm một bông hoa mai vàng của chúng tôi. Bây giờ các bạn cùng tôi thực hiện cách làm nhé. Hôm nay thì mình sẽ hướng dẫn cho các bạn cách để có thể làm một cái bông hoa mai màu vàng có 3 lớp cánh hoa nhé các bạn. Thì lớp ở ngoài thì nó sẽ là cái lớp có cái hoa to nhất đúng không? Bên trong thì nó sẽ nhỏ dần lại. Ở đây thì chúng ta sẽ chỉ cần duy nhất một tờ giấy màu vàng các bạn. Các bạn sẽ chuyển đổi duy nhất cho mình có tờ giấy màu vàng thôi. Tiếp theo ở đây thì mình sẽ có thêm cái bút dạ màu đỏ như các bạn, để lát nữa mình sẽ vẽ cái phần cánh hoa này. Tiếp theo đây các bạn sẽ sử dụng thêm cho mình thước kẻ này, bút chì này, mình sẽ sử dụng thêm kéo này, và cuối cùng thì sẽ là súng bắn keo nhé các bạn. Sau khi mà đã có đủ các cái phần nguyên liệu này rồi thì bây giờ bước tiếp theo là mình sẽ đi cắt 3 cái hình vuông nhé các bạn. Cái bông hoa của mình thì nó sẽ được tạo ra từ 3 cái hình vuông. Ở đây thì nó sẽ có 3 cái hình vuông với 3 cái kích thước khác nhau đúng không? Cái hình vuông to nhất thì mình sẽ cắt thành cái lớp hoa to nhất này, và nó sẽ nhỏ dần vào bên trong. Thì đầu tiên là cái lớp hoa to nhất nhé. Thì các bạn sẽ lấy cho mình cái phần kích thước là hình vuông thì nó sẽ tầm là 14 x 14 nhé các bạn.